Dude, there's another kid in Tennessee. He's 29 years old. He has 21 kids.
And 22 women.
And they go, they go like, what? He goes, I don't know. He goes, it just happened.
It just happened.
He goes,
my dick fell into another chicken.
Like 2 years, he had 4 children. He had 4 children 2 separate years.
Oh God!
Wow.
So now they're trying to break up his check for all the child support.
Oh wow!
Which is literally coming out to like 37 cents per person. So they're dragging him in jail. It's like, it's horrible. He produced 21 fucking kids who really aren't going to have a father.
No.
Who are going to, then do what the fuck he did, unless they go to therapy.
No, this is...
and learn that it's wrong.
It's not going to be...
Yeah, it's not.
It's not going to be changed.
And
do you even know
90
people. People's names? Forget about the extra 21, like you could even...
Oh, that's insane. Yeah, was it somebody who is maybe from a background that is stereotypically known to procreate at a ridiculous rate?
I think you're kind of in your own... You're in your own league when you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you? India, a bunch of people over there have like fucking 12 kids.
India,
you know. I mean, we can steer it into the black neighborhoods again, like you always like to.
All right. Let me do that now by commenting on a video clip I saw yesterday.
Anthony.
What? No.
You know what you're like? You're like me when I was into conspiracy theory, and all I did was read shit that supported my opinion. I already had my mind made up, and I was like, see, there you go.
No.
And after a while, I realized I was a moron. But for some reason, Anthony, you never have that moment of clarity.
This happened, and no one's talking about it, and it is a racially based crime.
What happened?
The Tea Party people were having a little tea party.
Oh yeah, that guy on the video.
Yes.
Yeah,
they were protesting and peacefully protesting, and a black gentleman walked up and socked one of the guys right in the fucking face.
Yeah, and it's not. You're right. It was on Fox, of course, but it was CNN. I didn't see them touch it.
Is that the one where the guy spit on him?
No.
Or dropped the N-word or something?
No, I think I saw. That no one could even prove happened.
Of course,
yeah,
of course not. Of course not. Those guys would never say something.
Breitbart offered $100,000 to anyone that could prove that happened, and no one had proof that it happened.
Maybe they did. Who cares?
What? All the other Tea Party people who were around? I mean,
for $100,000, somebody would have.
But all right, you called him a name or something. Nya. It's not like fucking
holds a little more weight than that.
Punching the guy. It's not like punching the walking up to a guy you
just reduce that word to nana?
Yes.
I want you to go downstairs on the sidewalk and just test out both those words. Start off with nana, so we can complete the experiment.
Okay. I'll do it in front of the fucking black Israelites that do nothing but badmouth white people when you walk past them.
Right. I'm not saying that they're right.
How about I fucking drop the N-bomb on them? See what happens.
But why is that video not getting more coverage?
You wouldn't.
Oh, I would.
You wouldn't. What, driving by at 60?
I absolutely
would.
Go
do it, tough guy.
Right now.
Put your pistol on the table, go downstairs and do it.
Now you're fucking throwing rules in there. That shouldn't be in there.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, see.
What? You think the black Israelites
is Red Dawn like a comedy? And you have that in the comedy section of your DVD collection?
Comedy. The black Israelites are fucking ridiculous racists that get away with standing in Times Square and blurting out their hate. Meanwhile, if I stood on a fucking spackle bucket and blurted out shit about black people, the cops would haul me away, or I'd be fucking beat up first.
Stop it. The fucking Klan can get a permit to go down the street and do what they want to do. Yeah. It's the same shit. You're talking about an ignorant group and an ignorant group. That's what you're doing. Now you're going to try to act like, that they can walk around saying all kinds of fucking racist shit.
They can.
How does it affect
why aren't they removed from fucking the sidewalk for inciting? The Klan has to get permits.
That's a great point. That is a great point because of the reaction of white people. It doesn't. We look at them like it doesn't affect us, so we don't give a shit. If it actually incited a riot, okay.
But white people are scared.
The way the Klan can. The way the Klan can incite a fucking riot. If you put the Klan in New York City, there's going to be fucking problems.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Because it's easy to be aggressive and go after white people, regardless of their ideology. It's easy to do that.
That's not. You're really not looking at how the position of people in society. Like, do you think
people in society?
Do you think? Yes. Do you think a king gives a fuck when a serf is fucking scream? He doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit. That's basically the way it is.
Oh, because we rule so much.
Because when you go in for a job interview as a white person, 90% of the time you walk in, it's a white dude. So the guy doesn't really affect what's going on in your life.
How did that come out of the black Israelites and me going up to them and dropping the N-bomb on them.
Because you're saying that they're inciting a riot. Why don't they get hauled up for inciting a riot? Because they never incite a riot. People will yell at them. There's a few people do it, but it never.
Of fear. It's out of fear. White people are afraid to confront them. They are fearful of black people because of what they see and what might happen to them if they drop the N-bomb on those black Israelites, that they'd step off their fucking little buckets and punch you in the fucking face. Because most people equate black militants or people with black Afrocentric ideology to violent behavior if you criticize them.
Let me ask you this. Their racist behavior, how has it affected your life?
Directly?
What have you not been able to do because of that? Exactly. But that's why it doesn't incite a riot. Because at the end of the day, he's just some dude who has no power over your life screaming. Now, if you got a bunch of
white... So what does me dropping the M-bomb on him, how does that affect his life?
How does that affect his life?
Yeah.
Because of white people's fucking dominance in the culture.
Fuck that. How am I dominating that guy?
Hey, you know, wouldn't you think that I would learn? Like, I'm going to actually convince him?
Bill,
like,
how am I dominating him by dropping the N-bomb?
Bill's making a good point, but you can't totally discount black racism either. Like, you are making some really good points.
I'm not. I'm saying what those guys are saying is wrong. They shouldn't do it. But the reason why that they don't get hauled up for inciting a riot is because they don't. They don't incite a riot.
But of course they don't. That's what I'm saying. But the reason they don't...
They annoy me. I've yelled shit at them.
White people are afraid of them.
I've yelled shit at them, and I've thought the same shit that you're thinking, and it is fucked up. It's fucked up on both sides. But there's a reason why, like, I can't... It doesn't affect my life. If this guy's standing there going, you know, white people, they fucking smell like fucking baloney, you know.
White devil.
The white devil. They smell like wet dogs. They're animals. They're spawned from the devil's cock and whatever. The next day, I'm still on with my life. It's not a problem.
I think it goes beyond that. White people don't like to acknowledge a lot of times that there is a huge segment of the black population that does not like white people, or they're angry. A lot of white people don't like to acknowledge the fact that blacks are very pissed off. And what bothers me is the Klan has white and black people attacking them, as they should. But the black Israelites should never see, I think so, yeah, I think they're garbage.
Okay.
But you'll never see blacks confronting the black Israelites. You just don't see that. It's like they're allowed to say what they want without the confrontation. I think it goes beyond just not affecting the life.
And a white guy cannot fucking say anything about a black guy or white pride or fucking the South or the fucking stars and bars, whatever level of whatever is determined to be racist by black people, you can't do it.
Right, and because of that, yeah, but it levels off. And you also get to live, you have cops who are friends. They wave to you as you come down the street as you're smoking a joint and fucking driving your Mustang 200 miles an hour with your get me out of a ticket sticker. Hey, it balances out, Anthony. You're doing all right with your 58 hot tubs and fucking...
I'm not saying.
Come on, dude. Stop it. Just stop it.
You don't have to drag the fact that I've actually done something with my life and assimilate to society very well and made friends and act like a fucking human being to other people.
Please.
The fact you have to drag that out instead of
come on, dude. Brian Gumbel still gets pulled over. Brian Gumbel could still at any moment get the shit kicked out of him if someone doesn't watch Good Morning Today or whatever the fuck he's on.
What happened in Bill Burr's life that made you such a guilty white person?
I'm not a guilty white person.
You are so guilty.
No, I'm not. See, he's tapping out. He's tapping out. He just capitulated the argument.
I'm not.
Victory for Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
You know what? I'm going to leave right now. Bill Burr, Carolina. You just got fucking destroyed, and you got nothing. When did you become such a fucking douchebag? That's not even.
Don't pull an iron cheek on me,
fuck you! I fuck you in your ass. Make you humble. I don't want to do this anymore. You just had an iron sheik. That's a new thing. The iron sheik moment. You tapped out.
I did not tap out.
Why'd you tap out?
You stopped making points.
You're the one that could fucking
You stopped making points. You stopped making points. You just started insulting me.
You just did that to me.
You kind of tapped out.
I asked you what happened in your life.
Thank you. There we go.
Why'd you tap out, Anthony?
I didn't tap out.
Why'd you tap out?
New word for the pest. Capitulate.
You guilty. You will not.
You just capitulated the argument.
You will not blame black people.
His eyebrows are up. Look at it. It's over. His fucking heart rate's up.
You won't blame black people.
It's over.
For any.
It's over.
There has to be some responsibility.
But why did you insult Bill Burr in the middle of that?
Yeah. Why did you quit?
What happened?
At what point did you quit?
I didn't quit, Bill.
You quit.
I'm here. I'm right here.
No, you didn't. But you
abandoned
abandoned your argument. You completely abandoned it and you turned it into a personal attack. Put your eyebrows down and be a goddamn man. Gather yourself. Do we need to take a break?
No,
maybe Anthony can.
This is too good.
I did the same thing that you did to me three times during this discussion.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Is that why Opie's agreeing with? Opie's agreeing with me.
Well,
he's more agreeing against Anthony than he is with you.
Opie is stirring the pot. Is what it's called.
What are you talking about?
I've seen this for years.
There's a white guilt thing you said to Bill Burr.
That
he's a very
Opie
guilty white
has
guy.
a track record that speaks for itself. That he doesn't do things like that. He doesn't do things like that. He doesn't do things like that.
I mean, what?
Bill.
There you go. Oh, Anthony's back.
Bill.
I didn't know who that guy
Apologize
is.
to Bill, first of all.
Are there
the white
any-
guilt
Your
thing.
eyebrow and your mustache. Everything is fucking at full mast.
Full mast. Are there any situations, Bill, where black people are to blame?
I'll give you a great example. I'll give you a great example.
I didn't even ask the question.
I already know what you're asking me.
What am I
You
gonna
did
ask?
ask it. You fucking shouted it with your eyebrows at full attention. Is there anything? What are you at? You would have thought you were out of food. Have you no?
All right, answer the question that Anthony
I'll
never
tell you,
asked.
this is one that I hate.
Okay.
I hate whenever a black dude is like a pimp or something like that, and then they just blame his social situation and be like, well, if he was white, he could have been a doctor. It's like, no, he's making a scumbag move. How come if he was white, he wouldn't be a CEO for Enron? He wouldn't be a banker.
Oh, right,
he wouldn't be a complete piece of shit. All of a sudden, like, just because he's black, he's going to be an angel. People are people, and most people are pieces of shit, and they're fucking liars. That's what I feel. Most people don't do the right thing, including myself, because that's the hardest thing in life, is not to be a complete piece of shit. It is. It's easier when you're younger, when you have parents, and they can act like they're not complete pieces of shit and try to fucking make you a better person. But the second you leave the nest, and then you go out in the world, and it's like, I could go to a peep show right now, and I'm not going to get sent to bed early.
So
then
start turning into a piece of shit.
You slowly go off track, which has fucking happened in my life. So that's my thing. No, I don't just openly. I don't. Believe me, dude. I've had unbelievable battles with other black comics who were all sitting there in the middle of a deal before I'd ever gotten a deal, telling me that I had it easier as a white person.
That is enraging when black comics pull that fucking shit.
Yeah. So that happened. Not to start a fucking soapbox thing here for Anthony, another subject to go off of. Yeah, there's definitely that stuff. Okay,
I've lowered my brows.
Yes, you have. All right.
We got two great phone calls coming in. First is James in Canada. James.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning,
Hi,
James.
Anthony.
Yes, sir.
I'm whiter than 2 bags of milk. And I got no
Bags?
guilt for nothing, but I find it funny that you have these battles with Bill or Patrice, but when Quentin Rampage Jackson or Frank Lucas was in this week, you didn't say shit.
What am I going to start a racial discussion with them for? They're not known for that. What am I going to do?
Exactly. All Frank Lucas did was $1 million a day in drugs.
Yes.
Why would you discuss the black community with him?
Why am I going to get into it with him?
And Bill Burr is known for his racial stances?
At times.
Yeah.
I've seen Bill up on his soapbox.
All right. You have a good day.
That
And
was
you're
very,
fucking
very...
Canadian, so shut up. You can't even talk about this.
Oh, shit.
He did it again. You won, sir. You're 0-2. You just did it again.
No,
You kind of did it.
That is the biggest, Bill. That is the biggest cop out.
Because you're not bringing up a point. What do you know, you fucking Canadian? Go dump some syrup on your cock.
The guy.
Well, I made my point.
You mean to tell me this guy knows
Anthony,
more
you're a child. You
about,
argue like a child.
African Americans. They're not called African Canadians.
Clean up your toys and go to your room, sir.
No.
And think about what you've done.
No.
There you go.
They're not
Tom
called
Anthony.
African
Tom
Canadians.
Can I go?
We're talking about African Americans. You have to live amongst them to get an understanding of what we're talking about. A Canadian does not know what the fuck I'm
Anybody
talking
buying
about.
this?
He does
I'm not
raise a
buying
good
this.
point about Canadians commenting on racial relations in America when they don't experience
It's a whole
it.
different story up there.
They have a totally different point of view.
They don't fucking put up with shit up there. If a white fucking Canadian says something bad, race-wise, it's more of a crime.
The Human Rights Tribunal, they really are pathetic in Canada.
Than fucking, killing somebody.
The fucking
up there.
CBC is worse than the FCC.
Crazy. So I don't want to hear from Canadians.
All right, let's go down to New Orleans and talk to Q.
Oh, Christ. Might as well be
Q,
Canada.
I believe, has been on our show a few times. Q.
Yeah, I done called a couple of times. What's up, boys?
What's up,
What's
P?
up, Q?
Congratulations, Ope. That's the first thing I want to say. Jimmy, love your stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Bill, you're a killer, man. I love you to death.
Congratulations,
And yes, for the
Q. I'm sure you have lots of kids.
record,
See? 0 for 3, Bill Burr. Although funny.
That was funny.
But 0 for 3.
That was funny.
Q, how many kids do you have for the discussion at hand? Hold on, Q. How many kids? How many kids?
I've got 2. I'm 37. I have 2 kids by my wife that we've been married for 6 years, and my son is 5 and 3.
Wow, you're the guy in all the commercials. Wow, holy shit.
Or maybe he's just been shooting blanks for the last 15 years.
But no, I mean, but my background, I come from a background that I wanted to wait, and that was the way it was. Now, I had a lot of friends that, grew up as such, had a lot of different kids and things like that. And also grew up with a lot of racism. I grew up with a lot of racism and everything like that.
Yeah.
I grew up not so much in the inner city. I grew up not so much in the inner city, but in the suburbs and whatnot. And then we moved out to a little place that was like completely country. School went from kindergarten to 12th grade, and I was like one of 5 blacks in the whole school. So that's when I first encountered racism. But anyway, the whole thing I wanted to say was it's so funny to hear Ant, because a lot of times Ant goes on his rants and everything, and sometimes, I got to admit, I got to turn it off. And I almost get to the point to where, oh, shit, I'm canceling my XM. But,
Oh, Jesus.
It's
Don't
all
worry, Sirius will do that when you stop paying the bills.
It's all in the day.
See,
it's all in the day.
You insulted him.
It's all in the day, and I really love you guys for everything you do and for everything else you've gone through, and and everything that you say. But it's so funny sometimes to hear Ant go on these rants like this, because it's almost as if to say that white people are, white people are mad because we don't have enough power.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with power. It has to do with
when it boils down to it, like you were saying with the black Israelites on the corner. Now, like I said, I'm not endorsing any particular ideology, anything like that, as far as what everybody says and stuff. But from the way you're making it sound, and just to reinforce Bill's point, was that you're saying that when you pass on the corner and these guys are just oh, white people, blah 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 blah, and everything, and it's like, why don't more white people get mad?
Right.
And how come it's like you get a black person on the corner, you get a white person on the corner doing the same thing? Because it's a fine line. Because unfortunately, especially within the climate that we live in right now, it's a very fine line that, man, shit can get reverted to 1965 or, 1955.
Oh, believe me, I don't think it's going back to 1965 with a black president in the White House.
Oh, yeah? Go on YouTube and read some of the comments.
And there are comments under videos that show horrid atrocities committed by black people.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I can go
Yes.
on. No. Dude, you can go on anything. Anything. And there's shit that has nothing to do with race. And what I love about the race is they can't even spell. Somebody wrote the other day, left a comment. He goes, Mexican. I could have guessed Guest.
Bill actually said it right, though. You said it is the king surf mentality. But that really is, like, Ant gets, yelled at, oh, he's a racist. But that king surf mentality really is a very closeted racism and a very and I don't mean by you, but I mean the people that feel that way, oh, the black Israelites shouldn't be held accountable for what they say. They're children. They're serfs. That is the mentality of white people walking by. No, which is a weird racism. It's a very, very subtle form of being a real paternalistic racist.
It's more like this. It's more like this. At no point have white people had to deal with like being the weaker culture, so that they were the under the thumb of somebody else. The same way like Jewish people freak out about everything because of the shit that they went through. We haven't gone through that, so that's why when those guys say that shit, it doesn't hold the weight, because no one has successfully done that. Now, if somebody successfully makes white culture drop down, and we go through a whole bunch of bullshit, like that type of stuff that goes there would not be tolerated.
So
it wouldn't be tolerated.
It's kind of the same point. I understand why it happens. You're right. I mean, blacks were dominated here for a long time, and all up through the 60s, and even into today, the institutionalized racism that still exists. But you can't say that there is a double standard in the language that to me goes beyond that. It goes beyond just common sense going, hey, you know what? That's like if you're complaining about, hey, how come they hired a black guy who is equally qualified as a white guy? Well, that's where, to me, hiring quotas are legitimate. If you have 3 black guys and 3 white guys, and they're all equally qualified, and you hire the black guys because the playing field has been so shitty for so long, that makes that argument sense to me. But when it comes to this double standard in the thinking and the language, it goes beyond that. It goes way beyond that, especially with the way things are now.
What do you mean with double standard?
In the thinking, the language, like white people hold other white people much more accountable to standards in the language than they hold blacks. And to me, that is the way you talk to somebody that you feel better than. That is the way you talk to a child. It's not the way you talk to somebody who you just see as a worker among workers.
I would agree with that. Like, I don't think the solution is to make it easier for someone to get into college rather than having to do the same amount of work. You're not helping them. That's like, I got a couple of, friends that kind of bums, and it's like you give them money, you're not helping them. You're not helping because they don't learn, and then they burn through the shit. And if you don't teach them anything, it's just, I definitely know.
It's called being a certain kind of rich.
Yeah.
Huh? And you see, and that's
the name of it is being a certain kind of rich, they call it.
No, these are white people. God damn it, Anthony. You're the worst. You really are the fucking worst. And then he sits there and acts like he's not a racist on any fucking level. You really are.
I have never said that.
He's never said that. He's admitting that he's a racist now, Bill. He's pretty much admitting that.
I am out of the closet.
How can you so openly be like that? And that fucking old lady there from the White House says one thing. Her career is just completely over.
You know why? Because she was living a fucking lie and a facade. I am open and honest, and so when I say something, people accept it.
She wasn't living a facade.
She was a flaming liberal. She was a flaming liberal.
That's what you get fired for?
Yeah,
I'm on your side. I don't think she's
fired.
So then why'd you just say she was a flaming liberal?
Because she was always open about her views.
She was always open about
She was always open about being radically left.
Yeah. Not really about Israel and Jews.
That's a radically left view to have, though.
But coming out and just saying Jews should be sent back to Germany and Poland and the United States from Israel is a little much.
It's beyond left.
Beyond,
But she always leaned
and that's
that way.
worthy of getting fired after a 50-year career?
No, not at all.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Not at all.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It is.
She's worse, though, because she groveled in her apology. She's 90, and she was like, I'm sorry, I just hope that those lovely people work it out. It's like, she fucking attacked Bush so hard. She's been very, very open. Just say what you got to say, and don't grovel after you said it. You're 89 years old.
Yeah.
And they asked her what she thought, and she gave an honest opinion. She never should have gotten shit for
There's
that.
a lot of people, too, who I've heard say that same thing, and it's not against Jewish people. It's like, well, you fucking took them, and you dropped them into a goddamn hornet's nest. And then you're wondering what the fuck's going. It's crazy. I mean, and then there's, we were here first, you were first. It's like, you're never going to solve that. That shit is never going to get solved.
Right, no.
It's never going to get solved. There's too much bad blood. So whatever, you're walking down the street, they should just fucking send them back to where they were, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it gets shown, and then she's like the worst person ever. And I love how she was in the public eye for 50 years, and it took to the 50th fucking year before she's asked hard questions for every fucking president for 50 fucking years. I think they just wanted to get rid of her.
Get her out. They were done with her.
Yeah, they just were looking to get rid of this person, and you can't. It's just, I don't know.
I agree. She never should have been
basically, in the early 60s, when she started, you could essentially be openly racist. Wouldn't that shit have come out back then?
Yeah,
they had presidents who were openly anti-Semites.
Yes.
And everybody fucking knew it.
I don't like the Jews.
Yeah. And he's recording himself.
Yeah.
He was recording himself.
Check one Jew. He was the worst.
Yeah, Jew hater in the house. Exactly.
He didn't care that it was on tape.
Yeah, so I think it's complete bullshit.
And she was only answering questions that she was asked. The guy said, what do you think should happen? And she said, this is like, I think that they should get out. He goes, well, where should they go? And she answered. It wasn't like she approached somebody and just started spitting shit out. She was just answering questions that she was asked. To me, she did nothing wrong.
I see. Where I'm called a racist a lot is that I don't see this responsibility on the part of the black community as a whole. It's individually you'll get some responsibility and people taking responsibility for their actions and stuff. But for the most part, it's just like everyone's making excuses instead of just fucking living your life and doing what.
Now this is the thing. I agree with that.
Right,
I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But the thing is you're putting that all on one group. If travel the country, dude, do stand up, and you will find that that whole fucking I don't want to even that Walmart. Culture of fucking
white
people.
Trash, it's called.
Those people, they're in this fucking death circle of stupidity, and no one can seem to fucking get out of it. And it's like, dude, I mean, you basically, have described most people that I run into. That's what happened to me. I used to be conservative, then I went fucking hardcore left, and now I'm back more towards the middle, where I really think a lot of people cause their own fucking problems and they're full of shit. And there is, you know, the way the playing field is, it is not fair and that type of stuff, and it's all how you react to that. If you choose to use that as an excuse, no one gives a fuck about you, so you're not going to get. No one gives a shit about me. You're not going to get ahead if you just keep using that as an excuse. But on another level, I can't sit there and act like it is level.
But I think the playing field is level. I think the playing field is level.
Oh, yeah, the Kennedys, the Burr family, it's all the same thing. Their big house down there, Martha's Vineyard, it's all the same thing.
I think the playing field is level.
We lived in a duplex. They had a compound. It's all the same thing. You know, I'm sure they paid taxes on all their bootlegger money.
But I doubt it.
Oh, no.
No, literal Jim.
Hey, man, we got a break. We got our guests are backing up big time. We really do have to break. We can pick up with this, but we got Jim Jeffries. We got.
All right. Hey, Anthony, it's nice being back.
We got Victoria Zadrock.
Having you here, Phil.
And also Ian Halperin. They're all here, and they will all join the program.
My favorite racist.